This troper is Gus Zagarella, and I'm an Uke.
This troper is Meg Chutin, and I'm a Cloud Cuculander.
And this troper is Henry Galley, and I'm Affably Evil.
And welcome to Troper Fails, the show where we go and look back at the old Troper Tales archive, where people in the late 2000s tried to apply fictional tropes to everyday life.
Try it today!
Yeah! That should be a thing we start doing. If, in the comments, you're like, oh, wow, this trope really applies to my life, and you have an anecdote, tell it down in the comments.
Yeah!
And maybe after we've made a few of these, we'll make, a compilation where we do, Neo-Troper Tales from the Dire Gentleman comment section.
Exactly. Yeah, we can recreate Troper Tales from all of you.
Yeah, and if this show goes to prove anything, it should never have been done away with in the first place.
Yeah.
Alright, so we begin with the delightful trope Acid Reflux Nightmare, which I believe is basically just any time a character eats something and then has a nightmare as a result of it. Cheese before bedtime, that kind of shit.
Gotcha.
Classic.
Number one, which will be a trip down memory lane, is when I eats before bed, I have this dream where I tell Justin Bieber he looks like he's 12 and sings like he's 6. I then break his nose.
That's a nightmare?
That wasn't a nightmare in 2009. That was a wet dream.
Yeah, that was a wet dream.
What I don't get about this is that they're like, I would never say that to him. I would never break his nose for no reason. What a nightmare.
Yeah, maybe they're just a believer back in the day, and they're like, oh god, I dreamed I said these horrible things to Justin, and then I hurt him. I woke up crying.
They wake up and they turn to their, signed picture of Justin Bieber, and they're like, no, Jabibs, I would never hurt you, my darling.
Jabibs.
Jabibs, that's what they all called him.
Jaborden Petersian.
Jaborden Petersian.
Japastroni.
We are off to a strong start. Speaking of pastroni...
Pastroni!
My segue here is Italian food.
Okay.
Alright. Strong pizza led to a...
What is a
what
strong
the fuck
pizza?
Is strong pizza?
Hey Gus, you're Italian. What's a strong pizza?
And how does it differ from your garden variety pizza?
Common or garden
I just
pizza.
spit my drink. Holy shit. Strong pizza?
None of this pussy pizza here on the Dire Gentleman channel. I only want strong pizza with Totino.
God, that's a weak-ass pizza,
Mike's
bitch.
hard pizza!
Yes.
What did the strong pizza do to him?
Strong pizza. Well, it was very strong because it led to a dream wherein this troper destroyed all of existence. Then they said, yeah, that was a mind shaker. And then, as if to just make us even more nostalgic, quote, reality, I kills it, unquote.
I can has strong pizza?
I can has destroy reality.
See, that's just what happens when you eat a truly strong pizza.
This is what happens when Papa John himself makes you pizza from his, racist sweat.
Oh,
That's what he
God.
meant by the day of reckoning was
Yeah,
this
this is the day of reckoning. Someone eats a strong pizza and becomes Dr. Manhattan.
and wipes
destroys
out
the
all of
universe.
reality.
This is what I was saying in the AI-generated iceberg with Pizza Emperor. If one person eats
Roman
all
pizzas,
the pizza.
yeah, it all comes together.
Y'all ever eaten a pizza so strong you become the Dark Phoenix from X-Men?
Yo, what is the deal with this pizza? This is weak pizza, bro.
That's a conversation that's happened in both New Jersey and Boston.
But everyone's idea of what a strong pizza is between those locations is different.
Yeah,
Comment on
don't even get us started on what a Chicago strong pizza is.
Comment on what you think a strong pizza is, because frankly, I'd really like to know.
I know what I think a strong pizza is.
But we're not allowed to tell you.
No.
Alright.
I mustn't
I
say.
mustn't say.
Mustn't
All right.
say.
And pizza, well, I mustn't say.
Next, we have, sort of inverted with this troper, who has rather bizarre nightmares if he forgets to have dinner. Ooh.
Oh!
Oh.
Imagine forgetting to have dinner. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. One in particular involved a tentacled baby which would feed on people and convert their remains into zombie minions, which would carry around the baby until it grew into a mountainous wall of flesh. You know, it's pretty fucked up when it becomes a massive wall of flesh. That's pretty disgusting.
I don't know about you guys, but that makes my flesh crawl.
My flesh.
That's pretty scary. That's pretty spoopy.
I can't believe I'm finally meeting you here in the flesh. And now we have another beautiful throwback to end the Acid Reflux Nightmare section. This troper once had too many hot Cheetos and then fell asleep on the couch. I had a dream about me and this creepy exchange student who was too much like Light from Death Note to be natural. We were visiting and he discussed why there is so much crime and I leave for the bathroom. I leave the bathroom, come back out to see him with Kira eyes and the note. And he had my name nearly finished. All that was missing was the last 2 letters. My exit stunned him. You left the bathroom? And he stated fiendishly, you were lazy yesterday. You didn't do your homework. It was also combined with the fact that I slept during the Death Note episode Malice. Ugh. Their ugh, not mine.
Was it really just the Death Note and not the unspeakably hot Cheetos?
Yeah, I feel like the Cheetos were... It's the Dave the Barbarian thing. Like, he built a megaphone out of a squirrel, some twine, and a megaphone.
Yeah.
It's like one of these things was clearly the more important part.
Yeah,
in what happened
I think it was
to you.
Definitely the fact that you fell asleep with Death Note on. Have you guys ever had...
Flaming hot Cheetos?
Yeah, do you like them?
I mean, I've had the equivalent of Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Do you like them, Gus?
I have not had Flaming Hot Cheetos, but I have had an Acid Reflux Nightmare.
And I have seen Death Note. What was your Acid Reflux Nightmare, Gus?
Oh, so in college, I ate a ton of, sharp cheddar cheese before bed, and I dreamed that Slenderman was in my room.
Oh, I have a similar thing.
Give me the cheese, Gus.
I have a similar thing.
He literally said, I am Slenderman.
What I love about that is, as if you would confuse Slenderman for anyone else.
Like I wasn't mistaken. Like
that's the funniest fucking shit. Like, oh, Slenderman, oh shit, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were my friend Steve for a second. He's also 10 foot tall, has no face, giant arms and tentacles, and wears a suit all the fucking time.
I had
What is your nightmare?
Well, okay, Henry, you know what all my nightmares are, because we sleep in the same bed.
True.
But, so I have sort of, it doesn't have anything to do with what I eat before I go to bed, but every once in a while, I will have, not really sleep paralysis, because I can move around, but I will have a dream that bleeds into my waking reality. A few greatest hits is, when I was in high school, I had one where, the Easter Bunny... but a specific scary Easter Bunny mask that I saw in a shop when I was a child that scared me really bad. That Easter Bunny was standing in my doorway and looking at me. So I got up, went to the kitchen, got some salt, and drew a salt circle around my bed. Because I was so scared. And then another great one was recently, I say recently, probably a couple months ago now, Salvatore Moreau from Resident Evil 8 was hunched over in the kitchen, next to the fridge, and I was scared shitless. I was so scared. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, he was there, he was eating the cheese.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm Slenderman.
Yeah, he said, I'm Slenderman. And I was like, no, you're not. Go back to bed.
Then Moreau had a nightmare from the cheese he ate.
And it was a recursive nightmare. And in the nightmare, Slenderman came to him and said, Moreau, I'm going to take all your cheese. Then my favorite, weird nightmare I've ever had, I woke up and I saw a kitten holding a knife sitting on my bedside table. And I was terrified of this, right? And I felt like I had to warn Henry, because I was like, oh god, the kitten with the knife is gonna kill us. But because I was still, half asleep, the section of my brain that contains my vocabulary hadn't, fully booted up yet, so I forgot the word for cat, and I forgot the word for knife. But all the first words that I could pull out of my brain were baby bear. So I kept saying, baby bear! Henry, a baby bear! And Henry goes, you're my baby bear. Go back to sleep. And then in the morning, Henry goes, so what was up with the baby bear? And I was like, no, it was a kitten with a knife.
I was, oh yeah, of course. Naturally. And it said, I'm Slenderman! Anyway.
We forget Jeremy Fragrance. He did a little spin and he said, that's how you attract attention with verbal language, by walking into a room and yelling, I'm Slenderman.
Well, that's the thing too. If you trade a cat while it's holding a knife, like Pokemon rules, if you trade it via a link cable, I presume, it actually comes back as a full-grown bear.
Amazing. That's such a good life hack, Gus. I'm gonna use that from now on.
In case you want more bears and less kittens and knives. Seems like a fair trade.
If you've got a baby bear with a knife or Slenderman, what you want is someone to protect you. What you want is an action girl.
Yeah.
Which incidentally is my next trope on this list.
Hell yeah.
2 entries on this. The first one is, this troper cannot write girly girls. Is it just author appeal? The fact that I'm male? Or something else? My money would just be on, like, quite a limited imagination.
Yeah.
Jeez. See, here's the thing. I wanted to hear about an actual action girl. Not someone who can only write action girls.
This is the next level of not like other girls. Like, I don't write girls like other girls.
Wow.
I don't write any girls at all.
I don't write. I'm the Slenderman.
It's me.
I wonder who's going to be in the thumbnail of this video.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so the next one is last Thursday when this troper went to his dance class. One of I don't know why I laughed at that, but that's funny to me for some reason.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the Slenderman.
Aren't we all? One of his friends, the Slenderman, brought his older sister along with him. At first, I thought she looked like a petite 17-year-old Yamato Nadeshiko.
Oh, fuck.
Gus, you know who that is, I assume.
No, Yamato Nadeshiko is not a character, it's a concept. It's like the ideal sort of like demure Japanese fine woman.
Like the ideal like housewife kind of archetype.
There's some baggage to that.
Yeah.
A 17-year-old ideal. Ugh. Anyway, this goes, then, as it turns out, she's actually 20. She's in the army, and she's just returned from Iraq. And yes, she has been in battle before. Quote, Lamont, who I assume is the friend, jokingly, she gets to kill people for fun. What a terrifying view of soldiers.
She fought in the war with Lana's transgender brother.
Yeah, from fucking Resident Evil.
Yeah, they were in the war together.
I'm telling you, if Lamont's older sister was in that house when the Donald Trump killer came in, he wouldn't have wanted to be in that house.
That movie would have been like 10 minutes long because she would have fucking killed him.
Well, I mean, she was too busy at the time killing the real Bin Laden, not like the phony clone that they killed in 2010.
Yeah.
She was off doing the real, like... She's actually in an even more elite group called SEAL Team 7, and it's just her. And she doesn't even get flown in.
No, it's called SEAL Team 1.
She just flaps her arms like a bird.
She claps her hands like a seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it kills them.
They're just so confused that they just die. So that's the end of Action Girl. Next was actually pretty...
Could this be the end of Action Girl?
Slenderman got her.
Let's find out next week on Action Girl versus Slenderman.
Now for something even more obnoxious. Added alliterative appeal. Which I believe is a trope for just, like, alliteration being good.
Yeah.
The kind of thing that only a TV tropes user thinks is cool. See how long physically you can go in this without cringing. Genuinely, that's both for you two and the audience at home. Your challenge starts now. Inspired by the V for Vendetta monologue, I wrote this for my profile on Facebook. Quote, observe, an oaf of October who obeys no official, omnipotent, or even ordinary organism or orthodox otherworldly one. He is his own. Obdurate yet open, and always objective in opinion. He objects to the obnoxiously obtrusive, oblivious, as is his onus, occasionally objectable, offensive, outlandish, or obscene, often outspoken, I feel like he said outspoken before, outspoken, organised, and occupied, but not obtuse, odious, or onerous, outgoing, the opposite. He is an outcast. I wonder why. Ostracized outright. He oppresses his orneriness to avoid offending, an optimal obligation, and he aims to obliterate the outrage of his orientation. Obviously there are omissions in this opus, but he opposes the option to orate obsessively. Odd and a bit off, his true self is obscured, hidden in the oblivion whose origin is the outset of his observations. We ought to end these occurrences of O, for we are oscillating between original and old. The only other option, which I offer you now and you ought accept, if only once, is to call him Owen. Okay? Now out with you.
My brain just, went into standby mode for 10 minutes, I feel like. What year is it?
This is, roughly 50% of the comments on the Bill Cipher video on this channel.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just the most painful cringe lords you have ever seen.
This is exactly the kind of energy that can be found. And if you want to change that, go over to the Bill Cipher video and leave an actual insightful comment on it. It's a good video.
Leave a comment that isn't terrible.
Go to the Bill Cipher video and comment, "Yarg, I'm the Slenderman."
Why is he a pirate now? What would the eye patch even be over? He has no eyes.
The one guy who can defeat Bill Cipher, the Slenderman.
Yar, it's me, Pirate Slenderman! Ahoy!
This is my AU.
I didn't even mean for it to be a pirate. I was just like, "Wah!" Yelling. But it came out as Yar.
I prefer Pirate Slenderman, though. He's dope as hell.
He's got a peg tentacle.
Yar!
Oh.
Have you seen the nemesis, Ninja Slenderman? I can never keep a track of that guy.
God, fucking Pirate Slenderman can replace Johnny Depp in the next Pirates film.
My god.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Alright, and last two of this episode, we have adjacent to this complete breakfast.
What the fuck kind of trope is that?
Which I believe is... Because at a certain point, I feel like tropes get so specific that they're not really tropes anymore. Because I believe adjacent to a complete breakfast is this idea of saying that something is not part of a complete... Like, saying something that is patently not part of a complete breakfast is part of a complete breakfast.
So a thing no one ever does.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. Like, oh, guns, part of a complete breakfast, I guess.
Is that like a stock phrase?
No. I don't know who the fuck says this, other than this one
here's
person.
the thing. A lot of TV tropes is like webcomics.
Yes, you're so right.
And if something becomes an idiom in webcomics, because, the people that make and I say this as somebody who used to write a webcomic. If you wrote a webcomic in the 2000s, between, 2005 to 2012... nobody in those webcomics is talking like a real person.
Oh, so here's the thing. Some of the tropes like this one seem to just be a function of a option for writing dialogue rather than an actual device to be used in a story.
Yeah, so you undeniably could do this, I guess.
This is a phrase that exists in the English language vernacular of this part of the internet.
But I feel like more than one person has used this in something.
Yeah, that's true, but more than one person has probably thrown a fork into an open window to stab someone in the eye.
That's true. I mean, that's my favorite trope, a classic case of fork eye window.
Oh, fork in the eye.
Oh, fork in the eye.
And you know what happens when you get a fork in the eye? You have to put on an eye patch and then you become Pirate Slenderman.
Fucking damn it. Anyway, it says, I'm so pleased to see this trope because I picked up on this as a teenager, saying to my mother, by this logic, you could include motor oil by a breakfast and say, motor oil is part of this balanced breakfast. To which I imagine his mum said, fuck off, son, and carried on drinking.
Eat your fucking waffle, you little bitch.
Yeah. I wish I never had you.
Shut up and eat your slop!
I can't believe my kid's a troper.
God.
Mo Moe, his mom. Just imagining Mo Moe with hair curlers in.
No, that's Mo Moe's mom. Mom.
Mom Moe.
Moesha Moe.
Mom Moe is just like a cutesy anime mascot character that grew out of it.
God, it's so true. And I'd watch a series about a Moe character who is now having to deal with motherhood and middle age, but they're still making it work.
I'm 42 now and I still got these freakish oversized eyes.
They're tumors. This is such a fucking Family Guy joke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this on Affably Evil.
It's you!
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm gonna... Because there was only one usable entry in Affably Evil. And it raises so many questions. That's why I want to end on it. A guy who expressed desires to kill me was very nice about it. He bought me lunch. and everything.
Is this guy Patrick Bateman?
Well, you know who this sounds like.
Is it the Slenderman, Gus?
It sounds like Pirate Slenderman, yeah.
Yarg, have lunch with me, matey, then I'll kill you.
Then you'll walk the plank at the end of me forest.
Yeah.
You just fall into a ditch.
Yeah.
You fall into a vague, staticky fate.
Yar, you're gonna get the televised scurvy.
Once you find me 8 pages of sea shanties.
You got the slender scurvy, boyo. That's when you start a coughing and a hacking and being a hack at writing parodies of Slenderman.
You best start believing in Slenderman. You're in one.
You're
in Slenderman.
That's the Slenderman, like, that's the Pirate Slenderman porn parody.
Yeah, that's
that I'm also working on.
That's the Chuck Tingle version.
Oh, God.
I'm in Slenderman.
I can't imagine being able to get inside Slenderman. He seems impenetrable.
Yeah, he just never opens up.
Yeah.
What happened in Slenderman's past to make him like this? We'll never know. So
He drank the juice that makes your face disappear.
the juice that makes you Slenderman. He was the first one to drink it.
Yeah, you can only get it on the beach that makes you old.
Oh my god!
He was the one guy to escape.
The compounding jokes in this.
Yeah.
God damn
Holy
it.
shit.
So that was episode 2 of Troper Fails, and I know what's coming next, and I know it's even worse. So everyone else can just look forward to that. Gus, what's our sign off for this?
Yar! Until next time, remember that I am Slenderman!
No.